All right, let's jump right in. Over the next few minutes, we're going to tackle a core belief in manufacturing, the value of experience. In this world where technology is changing at a dizzying pace, is all that deep experience still our biggest asset? Or, and this is the big question, is it actually becoming a liability?
This question is such a powerful way to frame the whole problem. Just imagine for a second, wiping the slate totally clean. No legacy systems, no ingrained habits, no one saying, but this is how we've always done it. It forces you to justify everything, right from square one. It's the perfect mindset for the challenge we're facing today.
And thinking like that is absolutely crucial right now. Why? Because we're caught in this fundamental conflict. You've got the incredible, blistering speed of technology on one side, and on the other, the deep-seated inertia of our own organizations.
So there's actually a name for this phenomenon. It's called Martek's Law. Just picture it. Technology is shooting for the stars, following this wild exponential curve. But our organizations, they change slowly, cautiously, logarithmically. And that gap you see widening between those two lines, that's the danger zone. That's where innovation goes to die, where all that potential is just lost. And it's where companies, frankly, fail. Closing that gap has become the single most important job for any leader today.
Okay, so if closing this massive gap is the problem, how in the world do we solve it? Well, the go-to answer, the default strategy for pretty much everyone, is to hire for experience. But what if that's exactly the wrong thing to do?
This slide right here, it just nails the huge disconnect we have in hiring. On the left, that's the assumption that drives almost every hiring decision. More years on the job equals instant value. But the reality, on the right, is that experience isn't some universal tool you can just pick up and use anywhere. It was forged in a completely different environment with its own unique culture, politics, and rules. It's not plug and play.
And let me tell you, I've seen this play out firsthand. I was at a company that had this, brilliant idea. To reverse engineer their competitors' products, they thought, hey, let's just hire the engineers who built them in the first place. I mean, it sounds like a genius shortcut, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, as it turns out, pretty much everything went wrong. These experts, who came in with all this supposedly superior knowledge, became the bottlenecks. They just couldn't adapt to the new way of doing things or work with the new teams. The lesson here is so profound. Having the knowledge is useless if you can't adapt.
But, it goes even deeper than just the context of their past job. It's about something that's way more ingrained and a whole lot harder to change, their habits.
Just think about the big push for lean manufacturing, this whole system focused on cutting waste and being super efficient. I saw a company try to roll this out back in the mid-2000s. Management kept calling it a culture change, but on the factory floor, it was a war against thousands of tiny individual habits. You can't just send out a memo and expect someone to change how they've worked for 15 years. It's a personal journey, one that needs real support, not some top-down command.
So, okay, if we can't just blindly trust in past experience and old habits, what does this new era of manufacturing actually demand from us? What does being great even look like anymore?
The modern playbook, really, is written with these 4 words. It's about agility, being able to pivot the second the market shifts. It's about flexibility to handle custom orders and crazy demand swings. It's about resilience, so you don't collapse when a supply chain gets disrupted. And it's about a whole new level of efficiency, one driven by real-time data, not just old-school gut feelings.
Now, to meet these kinds of demands, we don't just need fancier machines. We need a whole new kind of employee, someone who comes equipped with a fundamentally different set of skills.
These 4 things right here, these are the new superpowers of the modern workforce. And we're not talking about knowing a specific software program. We're talking about a way of thinking, a way of operating. It's critical thinking, to solve problems you've never even seen before. It's resourcefulness, to make things happen with whatever you've got. Intellectual curiosity, so you never ever stop learning. And adaptability, so you don't just survive change, you actually thrive in it.
So this really boils it all down. We have to fundamentally flip how we hire. For decades, we've been looking backward, always asking, so what have you done? We need to start looking forward and asking, how do you think? It's a simple question, but it changes everything. Are we hiring for the problems we've already solved, or for the opportunities we haven't even discovered yet?
This shift in mindset brings us to the most practical question of all, doesn't it? If these are the kinds of people we really need, how do we actually find them?
I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. The traditional job interview is broken. It's a relic. It's designed to measure what someone did in the past, and we've just seen how that can be a terrible predictor of future success.
It's holding us back. The solution is surprisingly simple, but it is an absolute game changer. Stop asking candidates what they did. Start asking them what they would do. Give them a real, messy, complicated problem that your organization is wrestling with right now, and then just listen. You'll see their critical thinking, their resourcefulness, their adaptability, all of it, in action.
And that leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. The future of manufacturing isn't going to be won by the company with the fanciest robots. It's going to be won by the company with the best people. The only real question left is, are you building a team that's ready for it?